Deansboro is located on the banks of the Oriskany Creek, which was the channel for the Shenango Canal and later the Ontario and Western Railroad. The land along the Oriskany Creek was rich and deep and made for good farming. Deansboro became a farming community producing grains and hops. The Marshall Historical Society is located in the town hall. Historian Dorothy McConnell tells us that the town was named for John Marshall, an American statesman. She also tells us about Samson Occam, a Mohegan Indian who founded the Brothertown settlement. To learn more about this interesting settlement, we visit Dean White, who became interested in local history when he purchased a home that was part of the Brothertown community. It is now home to his family and his pottery business.
Let's see what we can see.
I've lived in this house for about 30 years, and when I first moved here, the man that I bought the house from told me the Indians once built the house. And it really sparked my interest because I thought, Indians didn't live in houses, and then it made me research more about the Indians that lived here. Well, in the 1700s, there were 7 New England tribes that came here from the New England states, and they really wanted to live as the white men. They wanted to become Christianized and start a new way of life. So they came here and formed a community, built schools, houses, and churches, and built the homes that they lived in. When I was starting to renovate the house, one of the Indians had written his name in the mortar in the back part of the house, and the last name was Fowler, Rodolphus Fowler. And so that made me want to research the family back as far as I could to find out exactly how old the house was. And I found out that it was started in 1775. And the Fowler family was actually the original relatives of Samson Occam, which was the missionary that brought the Indians here to form the community.
It's a very important house because it's the oldest one in Oneida County. It was built in 1775, even before we were a country. And it's on the corner of Bogasville Hill Road. I've driven by this for years and years and years, and now I know the meaning of it. It seems that shady entrepreneurs existed even back in the 1800s. There was one fellow in particular who was supposed to be doing manufacturing of silver spoons across the street from here. In fact, what he was into the business of was counterfeit coins. When the federal agents came here to arrest him, he jumped out of a window, ran up the hill with his plates and buried them. They're probably still up there someplace. And they were the bogus plates that he used, and that's why this is called Bogasville Hill Road.
Just trying to find my way back home.
Most people in the Mohawk Valley, when they think of canals, they think of the Erie Canal, but there's another one that was very important to our history, and that's the Shenango Canal. And Deansboro was one of the ports along the Shenango Canal. There was also a railroad that came through here, right here behind me. You can enjoy it yourself because there's a trail that goes all the way from Clinton to just a little bit short of Oriskany Falls. You can bike it or hike it, and when you do, you go by this very, very old-fashioned train station in the heart of Deansboro. Deansboro was also a thriving mill town. In 1900, electricity was brought here from the creek, and it was done with this contraption behind us. We tried to figure out how it worked, but we don't know. If any of you know, give us a call and let us know.
Whether fate or destiny or plans from somewhere above, certain people were bound to meet to share a little bit of their love. For a day, a week, a year, or sometimes maybe more. Little bit of love.
Within walking distance of Deansboro, there's a little picnic area, and it's also a veterans park. If you'd like to come out here and just relax by the creek with the sound and the water, it's a great place to come.
She's the first created straight from looking out. Mr. I just can't park with this car. She sits in a feeling that's where she will out. She won't be going that far. She may be sitting in a field right now.
I am on the ground floor of the Berry Hill Bookshop, and above me are two more floors. If you go up there, you are actually in literally for a literary adventure. That was pretty good, huh? Continue, right? Not only will you find books here, thousands of books, you're going to find other things like sheet music. This was my mom and dad's favorite, Peg of My Heart. You can find old magazines like this one from April 11th, almost, 46 years ago, 1961. Then you can find by the front some collector's items, and this is incredible. I'm holding in my hand The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Now, I helped clean out their Mark Twain section here about a year ago. This is one of the collector's items, and why it's a collector's item is this. It has 5 mistakes in it. The original that was published years ago had 6, so that the fact that there are 5 in this one is very important from the collector's standpoint. Although this particular book might cost you a couple of $100s, you can go up to the 3rd floor here and buy one of them to read to your grandchildren. What a wonderful story it is, and it will cost you only $1.
Well, the shop originally began about 1968. It began just sort of a part-time thing, part-time hobby. We always collected books, whole family, and gradually got so many books. My father and mother decided we better do something with them. So we put a sign up, opened the shop, and sold a few here and there. My father was a teacher. He would take some for his students. My mother ran the shop while he was teaching and I was still in school. I took over full-time in 1978 after I graduated. And since then we've grown from just the downstairs here, where there were a few hundred books, to 3 floors and about 80,000 books.
When you come here, you can meet some celebrities. Well, this one you meet in a picture, but here's Lauren Bacall. It's an autographed picture of Lauren Bacall that you can pick up for $15. And then there are also some live celebrities. Buster over here. Buster is the resident cat, and the cat is named after Buster Keaton. When you're driving through Deansboro country, be sure to stop here at Jones Country Cafe. It's easy to find. It's just a little ways from the corner in Deansboro, next to what used to be the Musical Museum. I had a great time here today because we even sat at the table where my mother and father would come here for lunch many, many years ago with me and my family. Eating at Jones is a bit like eating in your grandmother's old kitchen, because everything here, whether it's the soup or the entrees or the desserts, they are all homemade from scratch. Joan invites you to breakfast this morning. They're open until noon, and to make the ride out here in the gas worthwhile, she's offered to give you a second entree free when you buy one at regular price. You may want to try what I had. It was the sausage, gravy, and biscuits. It was out of this world. Or you can try their special, Eggs Benedict, or anything else on the menu.
It's time for the Cooper Group's road trip. It's time for the Cooper